Thank you, President Bender. I'm going to be opposing this today, and I wanted to share a little bit about why. I think it's important that we understand I just don't have a constituency for a yes vote anywhere in my ward. I've heard from neighborhood leaders who are really invested in the neighborhood associations who have said this is not a good document. This doesn't represent us. We're not happy with this process. We want to see something different. I have heard from my constituents who feel alienated from neighborhood associations, who don't feel represented by them, and who want to see them held accountable in different ways so that they could participate in them more. Say this doesn't do that. Please vote no on this. I don't have a constituency for yes, so for me to represent my constituents, that's where I need to be. I really appreciate Councilmember Cunningham's adding the instruction to reach out to people who don't participate in neighborhood associations to really find out why. I think we have a lot of neighborhood associations who say it's really hard to get people involved. We owe it to them to find an answer about what's going wrong so that they can connect, because I don't think that it's childcare and translators. I think if the conversation is not about something that's relevant, it doesn't matter how much support you provide for people to come to a meeting to talk about something they don't care about. And we really need to connect better with with how this works. And so I'm feeling very disappointed with this process and with this outcome. I think maybe we tried to make so many compromises that it ends up not accomplishing anything for anybody in the end. And so I'm pretty frustrated with it. I have a feeling that it might pass today, and so in that spirit, I do want to at least try to amend this in one way that feels important, which is I want to offer an amendment to strike the language that I know was added in Peace Committee, that the minimum neighborhood base funding allocation will be $25,000. And I think it's important because that's redistributive the wrong way. We have an equity framework for deciding how funding gets allocated, and it's based on how many people of color are there in neighborhoods, how many renters are there in neighborhoods. There's all kinds of factors that go into this formula. And if we look at the neighborhoods that don't meet any of the criteria, either in population or diversity, to get to 25,000, we are taking money out of the neighborhood associations that do meet those criteria that we want to invest in. And so, if we're talking about equity, we need to be talking about distributing and investing money in communities according to a formula that does seem to make some sense. And this feels redistributive the wrong way. So I'm going to move an amendment to strike that language. Thank you.
Okay, so Councilmember Fletcher has moved the amendment he described, which is under 2A on page 1 of the resolution that's in front of us. Is there a second on Councilmember Fletcher's motion?
Second.
The motion is before us with a second. Is there any discussion on that amendment? Okay, seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Jenkins.
No.
Schrader.
No.
Warsami.
Aye.
Cunningham.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Goodman.
No.
Palmisano.
No.
Gordon.
No.
Kano.
Aye.
Reich.
No.
Fletcher.
Aye.
President Bender.
Aye.
There are 6 ayes and 6 nays.
So that motion fails.